Shalom. I'm going to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kokodash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father nation Hebrew. Yahweh Shai is the true name of His only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. The true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible are the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, as well as your Israelite foreigners that may look like their other nations but believe this truth. And this is the brother Shakol here with the video lesson on the true meaning of this whole Trump slogan, "Make America Great Again," which the what is it called, the acronym, the letters for that is MAGA. Make America A Great G Again A. So you put that together, it's spelled MAGA. And it's gonna expose the true identity, the true purpose of this Trump's being in power, and it's really going to show you the deeper message, the real meaning. It's showing you that America is the daughter of Babylon, this great harlot, which uses witchcrafts and abominations, and is set up in wickedness. Because it's going to say the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, which the Edomites, the so-called white man, is the wicked, Job 9:24. Because the scriptures speak about this last kingdom, the modern-day Egypt, which would run itself in witchcraft and wickedness and oppression of the Israelites. But this term is just one thing that backs up the scriptures and shows that is being made manifest. But in case you don't know, or just to show it, this is the MAGA Trump slogan, which it doesn't want to load now. You can read it here. It says, "The Make America Great Again is an American political slogan most recently popularized by Donald Trump during his presidential campaigns in 2016 and in 2024. And when you look at that word, inauguration, it also goes into witchcraft. Which I just remembered that now. The Lord put that on my mind. Inaugurate, meaning to induct into office by formal ceremony. A back formation from inauguration, also from that, inauguratus, past participle of inaugurate. Inaugurare, the etymological sense is making a formal beginning or induction into office with suitable ceremonies, which in ancient Rome, which America is the modern day Rome, included especially with the taking of auguries. Let's see if I can find another one. Gotta figure out how to put the search on. And here you say, so like it actually, it says it's fictional at the top, but then you read at the bottom, it's more the Esau tricks. It says, this is distinct from the more general meaning of augur, which refers to a soothsayer or diviner. And so a soothsayer, diviner, witch, warlock, sorcerer, it's all the same thing. So they try to put that fictional context at the top to stir you off, which I missed it, and but then reading the second part, it shows you that word inaugurate, which you inaugurate a president going back to ancient Rome, with the ceremonies goes back to the word augur, which refers to a soothsayer or diviner, which is a pretty much a witch, using wicked spirits. And so it literally told you that's why you can't believe everything that you read, because it said that that word inaugurate doesn't go back to witch, but when you look it up, it really does. And as we'll read this one again, the word inaugurate comes from Latin and originally referred to the practice of taking omens from bird flight to determine if a new endeavor or office was divinely favored. The Latin word inaugurate combines in on and augurare to act as an augur, which we just read as a soothsayer or a witch. Predict. Augurs were officials in ancient Rome who interpreted omens, particularly from bird behavior, to guide important decisions. Thus, inaugurate evolved to mean formally beginning something, often with a ceremony. And so, Esau moves in the left-hand energy. Just like the ancient Egyptians, just like the ancient Chaldeans, and Esau used witchcrafts and left-hand wickedness as the establishment of his kingdom, showing he was going to be destroyed, because righteousness is immortal, and the Israelites are going to reign in righteousness forever under the Lord Yahushua and King David. But just to show you, and the Lord put on that point to remember the inauguration, and that word MAGA, what does it mean? We read that it was the slogan of Make America Great Again, the Donald Trump presidential slogan. Well, what does that word MAGA actually mean? In Italian, MAGA means witch or sorceress. Deriving from, so that's it. That's showing you that Trump's this whole system, this whole political system is just wickedness, is left-hand witchcraft, and America is the main source of it, ruled by the Edomites, which America is the daughter of Babylon in the Bible. Babylon the Great, the modern-day Egypt, this great whore. And one of his traits would be witchcraft. Among enslaving God's chosen people, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, making merchant with the doing business with the different merchants of the earth, and other traits as well. But this is exposing Esau's system, and they go back to ancient Rome, which are the same wickedness, the same pedophilia and sexual immorality that Esau in the Bible, Hebrews 12:16-17, is connotated with. And that's another lesson for another time. It's in the same topic, but Lord willing, Yahweh willing, I can do a lesson on that this week as well. Because that's information planned to going on that. But it's kind of the same, but it's kind of a separate lesson. But the same witchcrafts of ancient Rome, the same in ancient Egypt, the same as the old ancient Chaldeans, Esau is doing now. And this Trump thing it's all the same. And soon they're gonna bring forth the mark of the beast, mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip implant mandate. They're running them. They want to run them tags. Trump's making with the stable coin, making it pushing towards digital. The dude Kennedy pushing them the hospital tags, for lack of better words, the health monitoring tabs. It's all going to lead to the mark of the beast, a mass microchip implant mandate to buy and sell, which will be miracles of. There already are miracles where people are thinking by taking a chip. The scriptures speak about these things, the miracles in the sight of the beast, the spirits of devils working miracles. And so not only would they do these things and try to, the New World Order start with these elites to manipulate and control the earth and its inhabitants and to depopulate it and to microchip them, but their system would also be built in witchcraft, which is the ways of the heathen. The scripture said the gods of the heathen are idols. And so we're seeing exactly the same things of ancient Egypt, the ancient Chaldees, ancient Rome playing out again. In this wicked kingdom of America, which is the great whores, Babylon the Great, the modern day Egypt. This is Isaiah chapter 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And so America comes after ancient Babylon. It says the daughter of Babylon. So it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about the daughter of Babylon, which America takes the customs of ancient Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. Or, well, let's read from the top again. Slakia. Isaiah chapter 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. The dust represents confusion, and it's called the virgin daughter of Babylon, the virgin, because of this place's military history, that it has not been attacked from an outside standpoint on his land, on his homeland. That's why America's the virgin. And so you got these people that are in a blind trust of this military, thinking that there's no way, ever chance that they're going to be destroyed. America's the virgin daughter of Babylon. It hasn't seen the attack yet. These people aren't expecting it. The pride of Esau's heart has deceived him. They say, who shall bring them down to the ground? They don't think they're going to be taken down. They think they have their military might. They're blessing the sword, and they're proud as all hell can be. But it's not going to be a virgin much longer, because 200 million nuclear warheads will destroy it in the third woe. That's prophecy that America will be destroyed by fire, by nuclear missiles, on the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah's judgment and visitation. So read it again, Isaiah chapter 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And it says the daughter of the Chaldeans. Now the ancient Chaldeans, they were heavy into witchcraft. And so what does Esau do? Esau, the so-called white man, the devil, the little devil that the Bible speaks of. He does not have any culture. He's a cave dweller, a basis of men, sexually profane and immoral above more than all these heathen. He's the worst of the worst, the lowest of the low. So what he does, he's a culture vulture. He takes things from all the other nations and takes them and copies them for himself. So Esau did the same things, the wicked rituals and heathenistic practices of the Chaldeans, of the Babylonians, of the Egyptians, and so on. And takes their gods and puts spins on them. And this is what the so-called white man does. In this system, the virgin daughter of Babylon, America, is nothing but a cesspool of idolatry and witchcraft and wickedness. And that is the truth. And those are two examples, just looking into the meaning of the words of this presidential thing. When you go into the origins of the Serapis Christus, Caesar Borgia, the idolatry of this fake white Messiah, because we know the Messiah is a so-called black man. There's so many things showing you that America is built on witchcraft and idolatry. The founding fathers, they were warlocks. In the deeper you pull back the onion layer, the more you see this is a satanic kingdom. This is the beast. This is the dragon. In Revelation 12 and 13. And there are so many videos and so much knowledge coming out on this topic. But the true way to discern it is through the Bible. And so these whistleblowers and these so-called truthers will bring out information exposing these devils, but the Bible shows you what the real truth is, because it's the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah, which has been written of old, but it's making its appearance now, because the word of the Lord is all-powerful, because Yahweh Bashim Shah is all-powerful, which His word is the word of the Lord. So it is all powerful. That's why it's coming to pass so perfectly. But America is this daughter of Babylon, and again Esau takes in the same wickedness and witchcrafts as the Chaldeans. You see how they a type of witches now. I should really use more archaic words, but they're trying to make it seem like it's not the point. But it said Chaldeans were renowned for their knowledge and practice of magic, divination, and astrology, which were often associated with witchcraft in other cultures. And so it said, to try to make it funny with the top part, but it says here, the Chaldeans were renowned for their knowledge and practice of magic, divination, and astrology, which are often associated with witchcraft. So the Chaldeans were left-handed. And so Esau does the same things. So we go back to Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. So the daughter of Babylon, America. Not ancient Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Now we're gonna skip down to verse 12. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Because America is built on witchcraft. The founding fathers were warlocks and wizards, the same as the ancient Chaldeans, because this is what Esau does. He came up out of that bottomless pit and he just started hocus and pocusing, and gathering all the philosophies of the heathen, because Esau was time of the devil's blessing of the fatness of the earth, to have control of the earth and a sword, to murder the earth with weaponry. And it's a habit. That's what Esau did. And so, verse 12 showing you America was built, its foundation is built on left-hand spirits and witchcrafts. And it's not going to work. America, that all that witchcraft they're doing from their elites on down is meaning nothing. Read it again, Isaiah chapter 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So America's enchantments aren't going to do anything. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. And we just read that the Chaldeans were associated with these things. And what do you see happening in America? You see all these tarot card readers, these wizards and these witches and warlocks. All this is going to come to a stop. This is what America has pushed. This is what America's foundation is on. And that's showing it was going to be destroyed. Just like ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt had the wise men, the wicked left-hand men, and they were able to do some things, but they could not contend with Moses in the right hand of Yahweh Bashem Yeshua. The Lord's serpent bit the Egyptian serpent, and ultimately the children of Israel were delivered at the end of the day, and the Egyptians were completely confounded in their firstborn. And so it shows you the right hand is more powerful than the left hand. And right now, this is the same thing happening where Esau Edom is the modern day Pharaoh, and the Lord raised him up. In Romans 9:17, it tells you that the Edomites in his great power, Yahweh Bashem Yeshua, going to take them out from that great power to exalt himself, his name, his only begotten Son's name. In that day where America is destroyed by nuclear missiles, and the children of Israel of the elect are delivered. But read this, verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor a fire to sit before it. Because America is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. So it's saying all these witches and terrorists and warlocks, like the ancient Chaldeans, but in this case in America, all going to be destroyed. in 1 hour by them nuclear missiles, by that fire. So that is the future of this wicked country. And so, and the scriptures say the Lord does not suffer a witch to live. And so that's, these witches are going to be deleted. I remember where I was going to go, call y'all about some shot. And to show you who rules the daughter of Babylon, showing you was talking about the Edomites, not the ancient Chaldeans, because it's the daughter of Babylon. This is Psalm chapter 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, Yahweh, the children of Edom, which are the so-called white men. Obadiah 1, they exalt themselves as the eagle. They went up into the heavens, they set their nest upon the stars. They're blessed with a sword. The fatness of the earth, they're really red. That's the so-called white men, the Edomites, the descendants of Esau, the cunning hunter, the man of the field, which is also Cain, which Cain's mean dagger, that sword. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the children of Edom, and the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And you read that history of that specific event in 1 Ezra, the 4th chapter, when the Babylonians came up against us, and the Edomites were joined with them against us. Again, in 1 Ezra, the 4th chapter, somewhere around the 40th verse. That's talking to that history point. In verse 8, so verse 7 to 8 links or marries Edom with the daughter of Babylon, showing you that the Edomites are the ones that rule the daughter of Babylon. That's the only way to make it make sense. Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. And America is going to be destroyed in 1 hour by nuclear missiles that fire. So the Edomites are the ones that rule the daughter of Babylon in Isaiah 47. The modern day Chaldeans. O daughter of Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, sit in the dust. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. That shall no more be called tender and delicate. That's talking to the Edomites, the children of Edom, who came up against us aforetime, who would rule the daughter of Babylon. So read it again, Psalm chapter 137, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So America is going to be destroyed. That shows you that the Edomites run this place. From there, let's go to Isaiah the 19th chapter. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 3. We'll start at verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's civil war, because America is the modern day Egypt. And so civil war is going to happen. You're going to have the red states against the blue states, and that's going to happen very soon. And what is America's system based on? Division. The scriptures say in Mark the 3rd chapter, a house divided cannot stand. And so Esau kingdom is divided. America specifically, this MAGA, this wicked witch of the West, if you want to call it that. I just thought of that. Because America is in the Western Hemisphere, you call it the wicked witch of the West. But it's the true though, and it's built on division. You got the red against the blue, meaning the Republicans against the Democrats. A civil war is going to break out in this modern day Egypt and the daughter of Babylon, the modern day Rome. So now I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Verse 3 is the point. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Showing you that what Esau does is left-handed spirits. That's why he invited that witch doctor, I think it was to the Davos World Economic Forum meeting, if I'm quoting that correctly. But they had a witch doctor go in there. Because this is what Esau rose in left-handed spirits, just like ancient Egypt. When you read the accounts with Moses and Aaron, and the Egyptians and their wise men tried to do all the things that the children of Israel and Moses in the right-hand side were doing, and they couldn't compete. They could do certain things, but they could not compete at the end of the day. And Esau can do certain things. He can do miracles, make people control things with a microchip in the sight of the beast, the miracles in the sight of this beast, the revised Roman Empire, which we're seeing the same things of Rome happening today with the inaugurations with Trump, which is Nero, back to ancient Rome, and the reincarnation, Trump is Nero. And so, in not only are they doing miracles, but they're doing witchcrafts and all that. Could they deal with familiar spirits and idols and charmers and wizards? But it's all going to fail. And our Lord Yahushua is going to come with that visitation, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, America, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. That fathership, the Lord Yahushua is coming back, and it shall come into Egypt to destroy Egypt with fire. The scripture say the Lord Yahushua is coming with fire. And what will have to be already kindled? And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So the same visitation of the idols of ancient Egypt is coming again. So from there, let's go to Micah, the 5th chapter. This is Micah chapter 5. Micah chapter 5 verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord Yahweh, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. Thy chariots, again, reminiscent of ancient Egypt. And I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee. And thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. So the Lord Yahweh Bashmishah is making the diviners mad. The scripture says in Isaiah 44, the Lord is cutting off the witchcrafts and idolatries. The Lord is going to bring it all to naught, because that's what it is. It's naught. It's left-hand wickedness. The Lord said he suffered not a witch to live. So this is future prophecy of the Edomites and their wicked witchcraft and idolatrous kingdom being destroyed in their power structure. Which America is the head of this, the great whore that sits on many waters. The virgin daughter of Babylon, ran by the Edomites. We have the whole beast system, the dragon, the revised Roman Empire, or Rome, including the revised Roman Empire today. Verse 15, and Micah chapter 5, verse 15, and I'll execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So the heathen are going to be put down. All the heathen. That's the end of it is these heathen going to be brought down. But the main point was that the witchcrafts, the Lord going to destroy the witchcrafts of these Edomites. From there, let's go to Nahum. So you see this future kingdom America, it's what it would truly be built on, and it's good to have the foundation of understanding and reading the ancient Egyptians. When you read that story in Exodus, I don't want to read the whole thing because you have to go through all the chapters. But and then also we went into the Chaldeans real quick, showing you that America does the same things. This future kingdom, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. And I'm going to actually get another one real quick, connecting Egypt with Edom, because we read Isaiah 19. Joel chapter 3 verse 19, Egypt shall be a desolation, meaning a desert from the nuclear destruction, because this Babylon the Great, this great city, going to be destroyed, and wild birds are going to inhabit it. Revelation 18:2. So this Egypt is the same as Isaiah 19, talking about America, future Egypt. And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. So it's showing you Edom rules Egypt. Just like Psalms 137 links Edom with the daughter of Babylon, America, a future Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Edom is linked with a future Egypt, which will be destroyed by nuclear missiles and become a desert, a desolation. So this future prophecy. Reading in Joel chapter 3 verse 19, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in the land. So the Edomites got to pay. And this is their wicked kingdom, the modern day Egypt. They do the same witchcrafts as ancient Egypt. They're doing odious works of witchcrafts. But let's go to Nahum, the 3rd chapter, Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departed not. And ultimately, this particular part of the chapter, Nahum, the 3rd chapter, this particular chapter dealing with ancient Nineveh, but it applies spiritually to America. America comes in the exact stead like ancient Nineveh. And we're going to skip down to verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through witchcraft. So America does the same thing as ancient Nineveh. It has the witchcrafts. It's in power. It pushes wickedness and a lifestyle of rebellion. And America is going to be completely wiped off the map, as we read. It's going to be a desolation. And so it comes in the same stead as ancient Nineveh. Let's read that one again. Nahum chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft. So America's built on witchcraft, wickedness, and slavery of the children of Israel. Revelation 11 goes into how we were taken, how we were in a spiritual dead state, and we were sent as gifts, as slaves, meaning we were sent as gifts as slaves. This is what Esau has done to America as well. We're taken here as slave ships. Deuteronomy 28:68. We're taken to America in slave ships. America is the modern day Egypt. So America, the well-favored harlot, that mistress of witchcrafts. It goes back to ancient Nineveh, but it applies to America. The daughter of Babylon, which the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the great whore Babylon, only applies to America. Which we're going to close out here. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So America is this great whore, that well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, which selleth nations through the whoredom. And the many waters represent the great melting pot of people. Because all these different nations are in America, showing you it's America. Which it proves in verse 15, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Because America is a great melting pot of people. Verse 2, you can't tell me I'm lying. You walk around any of these major cities, you see all these different nations there. Clearly this is the great whore that sits on many waters. And it's a future kingdom, the daughter of Babylon, which will be destroyed by fire, which does not happen to any other kingdom in the past. It will be like Sodom and Gomorrah. It happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, but the scriptures say it's going to happen to Babylon like Sodom and Gomorrah. So there's talking about America for the dummies. Verse 2, With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And so America has wickedness has been spread. These wicked philosophies, Americanization. You got transgender spreading. All forms of wickedness are spreading through the 4 corners of the earth because of America. And people come to America. These other nations, their women come here, and they become harlots. They lose whatever moral sense they had. The way they become drunk with the ways of the West instead of Eastern culture, which Israel, we were the highlight of the Eastern culture, as Deuteronomy 4 said, what nation is such like unto this great nation with such great laws, who hath Yahweh so nigh unto them? Because we were that fine gold, that noble vine, which we did under sin, but we had the laws that are the true ways of the East. And these other nations still push a form of man above the woman and having their daughters and wives in check. But they come to America, that all goes out the window. Transgenderism is even spreading to these other nations. And so this is what America does. That well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, will sell nations to her whoredoms. It puts the wickedness and witchcrafts and wicked philosophies throughout the inhabitants of the earth, through the 4 corners of the earth, and also does monetary deals with these different merchants of the earth, these different countries. So the Babylon the Great, this great whore is talking about America. And it was just a quick excerpt, a quick lesson in going into these words, MAGA, Make America Great Again slogan that Trump uses, which there is no healing Babylon. It's good to say Babylon shall not be healed. Which you might as well actually grab that and close out there. But the MAGA going into witch or sorceress. Let's read this again. In Italian, MAGA means witch or sorceress. The well-favored harlot, the great whore that made all nations drink of the wine of her fornication. The mistress of witchcrafts. The modern-day Egypt, which shall seek the familiar spirits and the idols, but will be destroyed. And how is it going to be destroyed? Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which are sourced upon the beast, America's allies, this beast system is Rome, the revised Roman Empire. You got America's allies, the NATO and the EU. What are they going to do? They're going to turn on America and shoot their missiles on them. That's what it's talking about. Revelation chapter 17 verse 16. And the 10 horns which are sourced upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, America's this whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So America's Roman allies are going to shoot their missiles on her and destroy her with fire, because America's going to be the lake of fire. And no kingdom has been destroyed like that. So it's talking about America, and we're going to close out with Jeremiah. Those were his loads. And I'll put it together. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And we read about America being at the great whore, which the kings of the earth committed fornication. All the inhabitants of the earth have been drunken with her wine. And so America's pushed their wicked philosophies toward the four corners of the earth, which is making these nations literally mad, but also become crazy. So read it again. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So the nations are literally mad also. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, the same as the daughter of Babylon, America. How for her, and you see how that links up perfectly? And when you read, actually, verse 13, what does it say? Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 13, O thou that dwellest upon many waters. What do we read in Revelation 17? America's the great whore that sits on many waters. So Jeremiah 51, Jeremiah 50, Isaiah 13, the Babylon is the same as Babylon the great whore. It's all talking about America, future Babylon. Read again, Jeremiah 51 verse 13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, the great melting pot, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. So it's time for Esau to pay. We'll go back down, Jeremiah 51 verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. And so we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. There is no healing Babylon. There's no making America great again. That's just a false, vain hope slogan, exposing their witchcraft. This mistress of witchcrafts, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, the great whore that sits on many waters. And so clearly that's dealing with America. We read its destruction is going to be by fire. And so I hope that was edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Kokodash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, it's in Hebrew. Yahweh Shah is the true name of His only God and Son. The honors to the elders and the apostles, great medicine, rule well, and shalom to the Lord.